Cristiano Ronaldo, Luis Figo, Nani, and more recently, Gonzalo Inacio, Nuno Mendes, and João Palhinha are just some of the players who have graduated from Sporting's famous academy, Alcochete. And today's Football Manager video, we'll be sending all the Sporting first team players to
Guangdong Tigers. Ni hao! Ni hao! Ni hao!
And we'll be promoting every single player from the B team, under 23s and under 19s to the first team immediately. And we'll be seeing how well they'll do in this experiment over the course of 5 years. Will they reach their potential? Will Sporting win any trophies? Let us know in the comments below. Without further ado, let's get into the experiment. So yes, we have sold everyone to a random team. I don't actually know what the team was called. I just picked a random one and put everyone there. And we have gotten rid of all of them and putting in the youth players from the academy team, the B teams, 23s and 19s. And you can see it here. So we've kept the same formation. I've kept Ruben Amorim as the coach as well, just to make things like a bit more realistic if it were to happen. But we've got Kalai in goal, Inacio, Lamba, Quaresma, Esteves, who technically isn't an Alcochete product, but still in Alcochete. Asugo, Bragaza, Nazinho, Alfonso Moreira, Joseph Fernandez, Chimiti. On the bench, you've got guys like Mateus Fernandes, Travassos, Miguel Menino, Rodrigo Ribeiro, Adam Marvelo, again, not really a Sporting Academy player, but still, Jerry Catamo, and a few other guys like on the reserves there. You can see Samuel Justo, Diogo Cabral. So we've pretty much promoted every single player, and it's up to them, or I guess up to Ruben Amorim. As you can see here, I've put him in charge of everything, apart from transfers, which I've left off. I've left that to me, but yeah, he's our manager currently, so he's going to be choosing the squad, which best fits his formation, and he's going to be in charge of rotation. At the end of the day, that's the team I put up, but he could change it. So as you can see, we're in obviously the Portuguese League, Taça de Portugal, Allianz Cup, which will be drawn at a later date, and the Europa League, because I've got the updated database, which will have Estrella and the newly promoted teams. But as you can see, on the first season, a very, very tough start. Braga, Benfica, Rio Ave, and Portimonense. Even in September, Fundacao and Chaves is quite bad. But I've made the team cohesion and everything pretty good, because obviously getting rid of all them players would piss a lot of people off. But you know, they seem fine. And the top influencers are Braganza and Quaresma. I believe Braganza has been made the captain and Quaresma's vice-captain. As you can see, responsibilities here. I've left everything to Ruben Amorim. The only thing I've not left is the transfers. I've taken that all off just so he doesn't make any changes and hopefully doesn't sell anyone as well. But obviously release clauses and things that could happen. But yeah, the transfers I've kept to myself. And what we're going to see is how far this team can actually go. So, you know, Sporting had a lot of good youngsters recently, sold for a lot of money. But at the end of the day, we're going to see how good these players become all on their own. Actually, the transfer balance is still 30 million, just average pretty much as it was before. Carlos Fernandes had to be sacked, unfortunately, to make Ruben Amorim the system. But yeah, we shall see what goes on from here. So as you can see, we finished 9th in the league. Chimiti, top goal scorer with 10 goals. We also got knocked out in the 4th round, Taça de Portugal, and knocked out in the playoff round by Atletico Madrid, and knocked out in the 3rd phase of the Allianz Cup. That's to be expected with such a young team. So we took the stats all time. So we got Chimiti, 12 goals, high score, which is pretty bad. Braganza got the highest rating, most is Braganza. I guess he's the most senior player there. Actually, there's a few good lines, and people are sort of getting to know the system well. But let's check Braganza here. He got injured at the end of the season, getting an injured hernia. 31 appearances, 2 goals, 5 assists. So yeah, it's pretty good from a first season. First season of him being the midfield and also the captain. If we look at Chimiti here, stats have gone up quite a bit. Let's check the career stats. 31 appearances, 10 goals, 2 assists in the league. So that's not terrible for a first season. I wonder who else he played. I'm just trying to think who else would be here that he might have played who's got good potential. Rodrigo Ribeiro, let's see, he played 13 games, 0 goals, so that's not the best. Ruben clearly preferred Chimiti. Alfonso Moreira, I wonder if he got any minutes. 4 appearances, so I reckon he must have picked either Jenny or someone else to play there. Joelson Fernandes, 34 appearances, 8 goals, that's pretty good from Joelson. Obviously, he's left in real life, but by the time this was recorded, this was actually, he was still here. Eduardo Quaresma as well, let's see his stats. 31 appearances, 1 goal, 1 assist. Decent average rating for such a young player. Inacio should be alright. Chico Lamba, let's see, he played 30 games, got 1 goal, 1 assist. We'll check. Esteves is unhappy because we didn't get to the Europa League. We check Esteves' stats. 33 appearances, 3 goals, 2 assists. Oh, sorry, 3 assists even. So it's not particularly bad. Asugo, for a rebuilding season, this is pretty decent. 31 games, 1 goal. I didn't expect to be that high up, but I do feel like maybe we could have got a bit better, as I could say. Check the schedule. So the first few games, so let's compare, we actually lost 5-2, so we did score 2 at least. So it's we drew the first leg as well, which is good. So it wasn't an awful result, I suppose, but we did end up losing that game, of course. Let's check up top. So we actually drew the first derby against Benfica 1-1. Lost to Braga 2-1. Joseph Fernandez scored against Benfica, which is good. Let's see if any other interesting results. So we did beat some Europa League teams 3-0 and 1-0. So the guys were okay, I suppose, in the first season. We lost 4-0 to Galatasaray, though. But yeah, I think a decent enough season, sort of like first rebuilding season. Obviously, you want to build on that afterwards. And by the way, I've made Ruben Amorim unsackable, so Verandas isn't going to sack him anytime soon. But yeah, some decent results in here. I see Skoglund got sent off. I don't know how many games he played. I'll probably check that in a bit. But, you know, there's some decent results in here, but there's a lot of losses, of course, to Benfica here, 2-0. Losses to got a lot of the good teams as well. Let's check our group in the Europa League, though. We'll go to, is it profile matches? Stages, there we go. And then all group stage, all groups. So we had a group with Galatasaray, AK, and that other Finnish team. So we got 8 points. 1-2, drew 2, lost 2. So, I mean, for a first season in Europe, there's probably not a guy over 24. It's pretty decent, I suppose. Definitely good to get the money to qualify as well, although I don't know how much it actually gave us. Allianz Cup, we got knocked out in the third stage. Let's take a look who we lost to. So it was a group stage. We finished bottom of group with Gil Vicente Portuguese. Okay, that should have been a bit better, but, you know, it is what it is, I suppose. Taça de Portugal as well. Let's take a look. So we lost in the fourth round to Gil Vicente 3-1. So Gil Vicente beat us in both competitions, to be fair. So can't be too like moany about that, I suppose. But yeah, an okay season in terms of rebuilding. Let's look at the dev center, see if there's anyone. Oh, so there's a few regions that have come in. This guy looks very good for 15 years of age. Good acceleration, good finishing, good first touch. Move him to the senior squad straight away. Hope he gets some minutes. So does Mbolo. He's a defensive midfielder. Not good stats, but, you know, he can sort of learn from it. I don't think there's anyone else. Maybe Miguel Alves. No, I guess there's not really anyone else. Renato Vega obviously came back from loan, but I don't think... I think he's being started on life, so I'll leave him there. Well, at the time I did leave. Apparently I should be sacked, but whatever. I guess we'll go and see him until sort of like next season's transfer window, just to see where we start and what goes on, and then we can have a look and see what like... I see Daniel Bragança has lost trust in me, and Nacio wants to move. But anyway, what we'll do is that we'll sim to the sort of the transfer window, and we'll see what our schedule is for next season, and then we'll go from there. So we are at the start of the season. I'm keeping the team pretty much exactly the same. But it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't really matter what I put here, because Ruben Amorim changed it throughout the time as well. But we're just going to look and see. I'm going to put Jenny Katama there, because I feel like Jenny probably will get more game time than Alfonso Moreira. If I just check if he played last season. Yeah, 26 games. So he was the one who played in that sort of right mid position. There's a few other guys that are here, like Petru, who I promoted. The 15-year-old, so I'll put him on the bench. Hopefully he gets a bit more game time. But there's quite a few strikers down here. Rodrigo Ribeiro, Chimiti obviously starting. Got a sort of Skoglund, I think, on the bench. That's how you say it. There's a few others there as well that have been from like the under-19s. Keeping the back three the same. Keeping the midfield 4 the same. But yeah, making sure... I'm pretty sure that will be the team that he plays. Obviously, there could be a few changes here and there. But I can see that the team cohesion is excellent. Team club atmosphere is okay. Gaz wants a new contract, so I'll just quickly offer him now to get it out of the way. Hopefully he doesn't want a release clause or anything. If he only wants that, I'll be very surprised, because he's like the main guy. 14k, get rid of the release clause. Would he accept that? Cool, that's fine. Briganza on 14k a week, so that's good for me. Inacio and Briganza are the club captains and vice captains. So they want us to finish top half, and this competition begins in 13 days. And then we've got Taça Portugal Allianz Cup. Let's check the schedule. So again, we've got a really tough, that's a tough start than before. Vitória, Guimarães, Benfica, Porto, Vizela, and then obviously it gets a bit easier from there. But those first 3 games are going to be really difficult. So I feel like we're going to get off to quite a bad start. Let's check the dev set to see if there's anyone else that could be promoted. So it's pretty much the same people. I don't think anything changes from the last time, but we'll keep an eye on this. We'll come back sort of every other seasons. Take a look and see if there's anyone basically that is good enough there. But yeah, let's go and simulate till the end of the season. So, end of the second season, and we finished in 4th, so that's a lot better than the last time. Rodrigo Ribeiro and Jose Fernandez being the top goal scorers, Bragança again getting the most average rated, but I'm very surprised that we finished 4th, so that's Europa League. So much better than before. Jose Fernandez got the most goals all season, 15. Bragança highest average rating, the most assists again. Most player of the match awards, Bragança, Rodrigo Ribeiro and Chimiti. So it's been a very good season, and they're quite happy that they qualify for continental football, so that's good. Let's look at some of the tactics and some of the games played. So Chimiti played 21 games, 6 goals. That's pretty good, pretty decent from him. Still quite young, so he's got a lot to grow. Take a look at Rodrigo Ribero's strike against counterpart. 29 games, 12 goals. So he had a lot of a better season than last time. So much better than Chimiti. Let's check Joelson Fernandez. So Joelson, again, a really good season. 12 goals in 34 games and 2 assists. He looks like he's going to be a really good player. So going to try and keep a hold of Joelson. His stats look insane as well. So he looks really good. Still 21 years of age. There's still a lot of room for him to grow. Let's check. Let me see who we're going to check next. Go with Inacio. Inacio, 32 games, 0 goals. That's fine. He's a centre-back, decent average rating. Chico Lamba as well. Let's take a look. So he's got 33 games, 2 goals. Fair enough. Decent average rating as well. Eduardo Quaresma, again, 33 appearances, decent average rating. So the defence is pretty solid. Bragança, let's see, he's probably been the best player so far. 32 games, 3 goals, 7 assists. So yeah, his stats are looking good as well. Everything's either sort of yellow or green, so he looks like a really good player in this role we have him currently. Let's check Jenny. Let's see if he played many games. He only played 5, so I don't know who got swapped out for him. But we'll check that later. Gonzalo Esteves got 31 appearances, decent average rating 2. Let's check. We've done Quaresma. Let's check some of the bench, I suppose. We'll go for Alfonso Moreira. Did he get the minutes instead? 8 appearances. So who got those right wing minutes? I guess we can check in a bit. Let's look at who else is there to check. We've checked Rodrigo Ribeiro already. Let's check our regen striker. 2 games, 1 goal. Fair enough. Did get a lot of game time, but being in the team and having those 2 games in the league is pretty decent. So we'll take that. What about João Muniz? I don't think he played. I played 16 games, 11 last season. Okay, that's not too bad. Again, he's probably the 3rd choice centre back, or even the 4th choice, I suppose, with the formation. So let's take a look at some of the others as well. So yeah, we just check João Muniz. He's got okay stats, but could be a little bit better. I don't think there's anyone else. Samuel Justo, I don't think. Gonzalo Santos, take a look. Only 2 games for him. So yeah, let's take a look at the schedule now. So let's take a look at the start. So we did beat Guimarães in the first game of the season, Joelson, but then we lost to Benfica and Porto back-to-back. But the month of September, we were unbeaten, and through the month of October as well, got our first one against Gil Vicente. But then we beat Braga 2-1 with 2 goals from Joelson Fernandez, which is good though. Yeah, so I mean, definitely a better season than last time. We did lose to Braga in the Taça de Portugal though, so that's a bit annoying, but definitely a lot better. January is a pretty bad month. We only won 1 game from the end of the December to to the end of January, I suppose, pretty much month to month, and against Famalicão, then a 4-0 loss to Porto. But I guess having European competition didn't tire the players out too much, so probably a lot better than last season for that regard as well. So next season might be a bit more difficult with Europa League or Conference League. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was Europa League. So we can double check that. But yeah, looking like a good season. Let's check the rest of the competition. He got knocked out in the 5th round by Braga in the Taça de Portugal. Knocked out in the 2nd phase. So he got knocked out rather quickly, right? So yeah, 2nd phase. Who do we lose to? What's the Gil Vicente on penalties, man? They just keep beating us. It's just so annoying. We did win 4-0 against Ledea in the first round, though. So, at least we won something. Team Keishan is excellent. Club atmosphere is excellent. Managerial support is average. Deal Collate's a new deal, so we'll give him one of those. I guess I've not really checked his stats, but there's not really much you can check with goalkeepers, I suppose. So he's locked in a release clause. I'll just give it to him. Like I guess if they buy him, they buy him. But I don't think anyone's going to come in for him right now. But yeah, so let's check a look at the depth centre, see if there's anyone else. Dino Fachada is a centre back. He is looking actually pretty good. He's got good mentals and decent physicals. He's 16 years of age as well. He's going to grow, so we'll promote him as well. See if Ruben Aaron gives him a shout. Mikel Sanchez. Again, I don't know if there's anyone else. As far as I can see, it's just them. But yeah, what we'll do, again, we'll simulate sort of the start of the transfer window, and we'll just see what... Oh, by the way, these transfers here aren't me. They're just what the sort of the under-23s manager had to do to sort of keep players in the squad. So those aren't me, but they're just average players anyway. But what we'll do, we'll sim to the end or the start of, I'll say August. And we'll check the schedules and the groups and stuff, and we'll go from there and see what goes on. So let's get on to the start of the next season. And at the start of the third season, we have got this team right here. So we've got Rodrigo Ribeiro coming in for Jenny. I think this is what Amorim's going to play. He's going to play Rodrigo Ribeiro, right ring, not Ruben Ribeiro. Or maybe Travassos. I think that's where he played instead of Jenny the first time. But yeah, we'll see that. I'm moving up a few guys as well. So guys like, I don't mean to move John Muniz to left wing, obviously, but I feel like he's probably more suited to the bench, which is probably going to happen. It depends if these sort of regens come in and become quite good, because there's still a decent amount of them that I feel like could break into the first team. And there's still a few guys here that actually haven't got that many minutes, like Mateus Fernandes hasn't really got that many minutes, Marlon Jr. I mean, there's loads of guys that actually haven't had a good impact. Guys like Marco Cruz I thought would be a lot better than Nazinho at this point, but clearly not. So we've got to qualify the Conference League this time. Let's look at our schedule. So a much better schedule than last time. Famalicão, Estoril, Rio Ave at the sort of starting games at least. But we've got the dynamics still very good, which is great. No one's leaving yet. Hierarchy is this. So the top three, Brigança, Inacio, Quaresma and Joelson Fernandes just coming up there. But that's good. Let's take a look at some of the other stuff. The finances, got 52 million in the bank, 16 million, which obviously we're not going to spend because this is a Real Bologna of Alcochete. We've got the youngsters here. Still a few decent guys, but I don't think they're ready to make the first team or the jump to the first team as of yet. Obviously, Ruben Amorim decides this as well because he's got access to the development centre. So yeah, we'll go on and sim to the end of this season. So at the end of the third season then, we finished 4th in the league, which apparently is Conference League, so someone must have won a competition somewhere. Got knocked out in the Europa League playoffs by Cologne, and we lost in the 4th round, but we did win the Allianz Cup. We won our favourite trophy, so that is the first silverware of the season in the third year. We beat Porto in the final 1-0, which is an even better result. Let's take a look at who scored. Let me try and find that. I don't know how to find it, but we'll check it in a minute. We'll go to schedule and find it here, I suppose. There we go. 1-0. Rodrigo Ribeiro got the winner in the 35th minute, which is good. So another great performance. XD Travassos actually came in for the right wing position, it looks like. So yeah, let's take a look at the Europa League, not the Conference League. Let's take a look at our league phase at least. So we finished 12th in the new sort of formatted league. So we managed to get into the playoffs against Cologne, but unfortunately, as you know, we got knocked out. We lost the first, so we lost what? On penalties, I assume. Let me just double check. We'll come to that in a minute anyway. So we got into the semi-finals by beating Benfica on a penalty shootout. We beat Benfica 3-1 in the league as well, which is good. Chimiti, Alamba and Bragança scoring, so that's good to see. 3-0 against Paus Ferreira above that as well, but then a loss to Porto and then to Braga. So yeah, we lost 1-0 in the playoff round first leg, and then we drew 0-0 in second. So we only lost 1-0 on aggregate. But again, a young team is not really the end of the world. We got probably where we probably will be this team. Just look at some other results. We got some good Europa League results against Maccabi and Cluj, I believe is how you say it. Beat Braga, drew to Benfica in the league 2-2. Lost it into 2-1 in the Europa League as well, but beat Dynamo Kiev 2-1. So yeah, there's been some good results. Definitely another good season, but we're trying to get into that top 3 now. We've been 4th 2 years in a row, so it's just sort of making that step up to try and get to 3rd place. So Rodrigo Ribeiro is the top goal scorer with 12 all competitions. Bragança highest rating again, and most assists of course. Most player of the matches were Bragança. So again, another really good year of him. He's sort of becoming a really good player now. Let's look at Chimiti stats. 27 appearances, 4 goals, so a decrease on last season in terms of number of goals, but more games. Rodrigo Ribeiro, 32 games, 6 goals, 3 assists. So that's an improvement for him. Joelson, let's see if he continues great form. 31, 6 assists, so a downgrade, but still a really, really good performance from him. Let's look at Daniel Bragança. Obviously got the most man of the matches. So we'll take a look. 30 games, 5 goals, 7 assists. So he's been sort of statistically the same ever since the rebuild started. Let's look at Asugo as well. 33 games, 2 goals, 1 assist. But again, a very good average rating. Gonzalo Esteves, I'd imagine probably the same. 26 games, so he didn't play as many. Nazinho, we've not really checked him a lot, so he's pretty decent. Let's check his stats. So he only played 6 games this year, so he must have been replaced maybe by Travassos, maybe, I would assume, or maybe Marco Cruz. So it's Travassos wants a new contract, but I would assume it's him. Inacio, surprised he hasn't left yet or wanted to leave. 32 games, decent average rating. Eduardo Quaresma, 28 games, 2 goals, and his stats are going up, which is good. And we'll check Chico Lamba, who I think is probably the first centre back to be replaced. His stats are they're going down for some reason at 22, but you know, it is what it is. But he'll probably be the first to be replaced, I can imagine. 32 appearances, 3 goals. And he wants a new deal as well. That's fair enough. And Diego Kalai, let's have a look. And he is just normal stats, so he's improving. Travassos, let's see. I think he was brought in on the left back. I'd assume 29 games that he played there. I'll offer him a new contract as well. Hopefully he doesn't want a low release clause like Diego Kalai did. 23, I can get up to 27 if I just offer him a bit more wage, so I believe. Let's see if he takes that. Cool. Again, I don't think anyone's gonna match that for now, so I think we're okay. Some guys that need to offer contracts. So let's check our regen. 23 games, 3 goals. So in his first actual full season, only 3 goals, which is pretty distinctly average, if not bad. But for a 17-year-old, I feel like it's not the end of the world. Let's check João Muniz. He was the backup centre-back. Only 1 game, so I guess he probably didn't get as much game time as well. Someone else must have been the backup centre-back. Just trying to see the positions, see if there's anyone that sticks out to me. Not you, I doubt. But yeah, let's have a look. Marco Cruz, did he play any games? So he's not played a single game yet, which is quite annoying because he's got decent potential. Alfonso Moreira, let's check. Only the 2 games this season, so he's not really getting a lot of game time. But we do have a lot of good wingers, to be fair. This was another regen, Dino Fachada. So he got 26 games, which is good. Not a goal, but he is a centre defender. He's the centre back. Okay, so he's the one who got sort of replacement of João Muniz, and he'll probably replace Lambert at one point, probably not this season, but the next season after. So we can take a look at that if we put him in there for now. Let's see anyone else. Jaime Santos, 1 game, so it's it's difficult to see. I'm just pretty much guessing. He's played 0 games, but somehow got injured. Some good guys with good average rating, but I don't think a lot of them get game time just because there's so many players. It's difficult to actually play them all, I suppose, and I guess that's the manager's headache. Miguel Menino, I don't think's played. He's not played a single time this save. Mateus Fernandes, take a look. Only 5 games. He's not playing a lot either. Adam Arvelo is playing. Not played a single game as well. Skoglund, let's have a look. So he played a few games in the last 3 seasons, but only 6 this season, not scoring. So that's pretty awful. I don't think there's anyone else I haven't checked. So let's check the dev center. So we've got a guy called Jean Vieira, who's a striker, or a right winger, looks okay. Not as good as the regen, I don't think, but we'll promote him anyway. And we'll promote him. And we've got a guy called Tim. I don't think I can say his last name, unfortunately. So yeah, it's Tim from Denmark. Yeah, so Tim is a defender and also a centre midfielder, and he's actually got very good stats, but I'll probably have to change his name, or just call him Tim, I suppose. Tim from Denmark, I believe. Oh no, he's Portuguese. Okay, I thought he was from Denmark for some reason. But yes, a Portuguese midfielder / central defender by the name of Tim. So he's with the Portugal under-21s, or under-20s. So he's got really good stats, to be fair. But it's just depending on whether he can get to that high level. So he's already made 1 appearance at the FIFA World Cup under-20s. I don't know if he played the whole 90 minutes, but yeah, he looks like he could be someone that could be a good player and someone that maybe eventually takes the reins from Bragança or Sugo, or can even fill in for Chico Lamba or Eduardo Quaresma. I feel like Inacio is going to be sort of the main centre-back for quite a while, so I don't think we'll have to worry about that. But we can move on from Tim. But yeah, we got a guy called Fernando Pejo. I don't know how you'd say it. But he's a winger. Again, I'll promote him. He's looking okay. And let's see. I don't think there's anyone else really that is calling out to me. João Andre is a striker. I feel like we've got too many strikers at the moment. So I'll just leave him there, I suppose. I'll move to Sporting B. There we go. And let's check anything else. So I think that's it for this season. So again, we'll sim to the start of the next season and see where we get on. And at the start of season 4, let's have a look and see if anyone's been sold. So there has been a few offers for Briganta, but none match the release clause, so he's staying. Same with Chimiti, I think. Let me just double check. Yeah, they're not matching his release clause, so he can stay as far as I'm concerned. If they match anyone's release clause, then I'm power to stop it, really. But yeah, so apparently they want... I guess we could try and get rid of Chimiti to try and give some more game time to either Rodrigo Ribeiro or the new youngsters that we have. So maybe I'll offer him for sale in a bit. Chico Lamba as well. He wants a new contract, so I'll just give one to him. He's not really that important, but I guess he's been pretty decent. He wants that. Oh, 12k, there we go. Oh, he did have a lease clause in there, but oh well. Like, again, he's probably going to be right on the bench a lot of this time. A few guys had their contracts expire. I'm just going to double check that none of them are important. The guy has not played a single game for us. Yeah, so they're not important at all. None of them have played a game. But what I'll do is I'll have a look and see if we've sold anyone like for their release clause. I don't think we have, or anyone that's been released accidentally. There's no names I recognise, so I think we're all good. I don't think anyone that has actually played a single game has been released, which is good. So yeah, we'll have a look and see if this guy has... No, I doubt it, not with those stats. So I think we're okay. Let's look at any transfers. So again, no one really important has left. There's been a few that we signed. Yassine, I don't even know how to pronounce that guy's last name, from Lyon. 600k for the under 23s. Damn, okay. Spending quite a bit, to be fair. Denis Rodriguez from Porto, I can see as well. Again, he could be someone that could make the first team, maybe. I don't know. He's got okay stats. Probably not with the amount we have so far. Is there anyone else that is recognisable? They're spending a lot of money, the under 23s, so fair play to them, I suppose. Gustavo Sarr from Famalicão, that name rings a bell for some reason. I don't know if he's playing in real life, but let's double check at the tactics. Actually, let's go to schedule first. So let's see. So we need to qualify for the Conference League against Bromby. So someone must have won a competition last year to get there. But at the start of the season as well, so we've got Bromby, and then we've got Aroca Farzim, Ferenc, Benfica and Braga in September. That's going to be difficult. But hopefully we can get through to the Conference League at least. And I guess we could probably win that trophy if we stay in it long enough. So let's look at the team. I assume this is what it's going to be. Because it's a new deal again. Okay, we'll offer him a new deal. He's only on 14k a week, to be fair. What does he want now? He wants Viana to suggest offer. He wants a big pay rise, to be fair. Let's see if he accepts that outright. He wants 47. There we go. 47k, you can stay. What's wrong with Chico Lama? Oh, Chico Lama wants a new contract, but apparently a lot of people, Gonzalo and Nacho doesn't want him to renew, it looks like. Rodrigo Ribeiro wants a new contract as well, so we'll give him one too. I mean, finances aren't really important at this point, as we're just simming along, I suppose. He wants 23. I'll get rid of the release clause though, and I wonder if you'll accept that. Cool, that's fine by me. Chimiti wants to leave. I think I'm gonna offer him. Should I offer him a new contract? Offer him up for sale. Let's see if anyone comes with 20 million up front. They can take him. Although I don't think anyone's gonna come in. Everyone else seems fine. He's unhappy with my treatment of Chimiti. So there's a lot of wanted signs, but I think a lot of them are just for loans. I don't think anyone's actually leaving anytime soon. Probably Briganta and Inacio are the only ones that could probably leave soon because they've got the release clause in their contract. Although Briganta is about to run out, I suppose. I'm just making sure that all the team cohesion is good. You can call it cheating or whatever, but it's just an experiment, isn't it? So at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world. It's not like we're gonna win like the league by doing this, but just making everyone improving team cohesion and doing everything like that, just making it a bit more realistic. 62 million in the bank. Again, we're not spending anything. Dev Center, exactly the same. Dynamics, I suppose, are going to be the same as well. Let's double check. Yeah, everything's excellent. Let's check hierarchy. Has anyone moved? Still the same. Briganza, Inacio, Quaresma, but there's a lot more highly influential players now. Travasos, Fernandez, Chimiti, Esteves, Esuro, Chico Lamba. But yeah, let's sim to the end of the season and see where we end up. So at the end of season 4, we have finished in 3rd place. So we're definitely moving on. It's really good. So we're 10 points behind Benfica, 20 behind Porto, but we're progressing every year, which is really good. Only lost 5 games this season, though, which is actually really good. 71 points is pretty decent. Rodrigo Ribeiro, Jose Fernandez, and Chimiti getting 7 goals in the league. To be fair, that's not very good, I suppose, for our strikers if they're getting outscored by a winger at this point. Let's check Dev Centre. Not really anyone that's too good, I think. Not one that comes out to me straight away anyway. I feel like we've got better in the squad that have been promoted. This guy can be promoted, though. I suppose he's a left winger, so that doesn't really matter. Let's take a look at some stats then. So who should we go first? We'll go with Diolkalai. Let's see. So his goalkeeper stats are improving. That's fine. Chimiti, 40 million now. 24 games, 7 goals, 3 assists. I mean, he's just stats are average. He's got really good stats, I think. He's got really good stats, but his price 40 to 46 million. If anyone comes in for that, he can go, I suppose. But yeah, we'll see what we make of that. But yeah, not the best goal scoring record I've seen. Let's check Rodrigo Ribeiro next, I suppose, because he'll probably be the one that's going to come straight in for Chimiti if Chimiti were to be sold. So just check it. Chimiti's a 3.5 star, so he's good for senior rate. Let's go for Jolson Fernandez. Again, good value. He's been really good this save. 26 games, 7 goals, 4 assists. So he is improving. Playing very well, Joelson. So maybe Sporting made a mistake in selling him, but he's been really, really good this save. His stats are very good as well. Let's check Rodrigo Ribeiro. I was going to do that first. Yeah, he's got very good stats right now as well. Worth 36 to 47 million. 26 games, 7 goals, 5 assists, and he's been playing mostly on the wing. Let's check out Sugo as well. Sugo's stats looking incredible. He's still only 21, so he's still got 2-3 years to grow properly. 29 games, 2 goals, good average rating, a little bit down from last year. Briganto, who's been the star player this save, star midfield at least. 30 games, 2 goals, 9 assists. So again, very good from Briganto. Just same old, Mr. Reliable, and of course the captain right now. Let's check. Who should we go for next? Nazinho. Again, I don't think he's playing a lot. I feel like Travassos, okay, 27 games, so he's played a lot more than last season. I thought Travassos would have come in, but probably not. Ignacio, still here, but they've got wanted symbol there. 33 games, 2 goals, decent average rating. Eduardo Quaresma, again, he's looking okay. 33 games, 4 goals, decent average rating as well. Dino Fachada, the youngster, worth a little bit of money. Stats are going down, but I guess he's only 18. 29 games, 1 goal. 7 average rating. That's pretty good. I don't think Jarman is getting any game time. I feel like he's probably going to be released or get sold. He's not playing at all. Same with Mateus Fernandez. I don't know if he's played at all as well. Let's double check. Yeah, 0 games. He's only played 6 games in total for us all season. So, I mean, it's not been the greatest performance from him. I don't think he has very high potential in general anyway. Let's check our regen. Petru, whatever his name is. So he's finishing a 14, he's going up. So he's pretty decent. But it's not a single goal in 14 games. So maybe not. Maybe he's a little bit of a bust. Definitely needs to get his acts together. Deal with Travassos. Very good stats. Very decent player. Very versatile as well. 32 games, 5 goals, 5 assists. So he's been playing pretty much as a starter. Jenny Katamo, 0 games this season. But I was surprised that he even made the team, to be fair, because we got so many wingers. Alfonso Moreira, let's double check. His price went up a little bit, so he played 10 games, more than Jenny this season, so he's been replaced. Just trying to see if there's anyone else. Tim, my favourite man, can't say his last name, unfortunately. Tim, 17 appearances, decent average rating, so fair play to Tim. He's been playing very solidly with a 6.9. Decent stats as well, like I said, can play as both a centre-back and a central defensive midfielder even. Apparently he's been training on an anchor defend, which is decent. Currently injured at the moment though, but worth a decent amount of money as well. Let's check some of the other players as well. Chico Lamba, did he play a lot of games? 34, so he played a lot of sort of the standing centre back, I'd assume. See if there's anyone else here. Who else was a regen? And Bola was a regen. Has he been playing? Only 5 games this season, but I guess he's still young. But he was not a regen. The thing is, with so many of these names, I don't recognise that. I just assume they're regens, but some of them are actually players that still are at Sporting in the youth teams. I'm just trying to see if there's anyone else that I can see. Mendoza is not a youth player. I think there was a guy called Pago. Where's Fernando? Is it Fernando Pago? Fernandinho Pago? Canario was not a regen. Let's see that. Is this guy? There we go. Fernandinho Pago played 0 games, but we got a lot of wingers, like I said. So yeah, decent stats. Third place is very good considering that's where we finish usually. Like if you've played Football Manager, usually Sporting here in third place. I don't think anyone's been sold. They sold that guy who they bought for 600k to Estrella for 600k, so pretty much broke even on that. We've got 48 million in the bank, 19 million in transfer budget, but again, we're not using it. Top scorers this season, Chimiti with 19 goals, highest average rating of Rodrigo Ribeiro, most assists Daniel Bragança, player matches Diego Travassos and Rodrigo Ribeiro. So yeah, very good performance again. Let's take a look at the schedule. So Roma 1-0. So this is where we got knocked out. So we won 1-0 in the first leg, but lost 2-0 in the second leg. So we made it to the quarterfinals of the Conference League. I thought we could have probably done better, but we did beat Porto in the league 3-0. Chimiti, Joseph Fernandez and Rodrigo Ribeiro getting on score sheets. We beat Hearts as well twice in the round of 16, which is very good. So I assume we made the Conference League proper instead of having to go into the knockout rounds. Let's just see if there's any other good results in there. So some good wins in Europe. I can see Herenveen we beat Benfica at the start of the season. Diogo Travassos scoring the goal. So yeah, another great season. It really depends on this sort of final season. Obviously, we made it to fourth in a consecutive season. Now we're in third. So I guess that second or first is next up. But the way that I see Braganza has been made favourite personnel as well, which is very good. I guess with a few more seasons, could probably make icons. We played 206 games for the club already, which is that's 206 games all time. I didn't actually see what we made for the club. But let's see what we go into the next season, the final season. Can we win the league and can we win anything else? So at the start of the fifth season, let's take a look. So they want us to qualify for the Conference League. We're in the Europa League this time, which is good. We're in the Taça de Portugal. Let's check the start of the season. Moreirense, Guimarães, Boavista. So a very easy, well, not I don't want to say the word easy, but definitely a better start than the ones we've had previously. Let's take a look at the tactics. So Tim is there on the bench. I can see just again making sure everything's all good, removing all injuries just to make it a bit more realistic. I know there are injuries that happen, but I just want to see like their full potential, what they can do. So you can see the lines there, some good team cohesion with, especially with Inacio and Dinis, the new centre back as well. João Vieira, I didn't actually check last season. 23 games, 2 goals. He was another region I completely forgot about. But yeah, Pete Petru as well. Hopefully he can get the scoring record a bit up. There's a few other guys as well. Fernandinho Pego as well. Hopefully he can sort of come into his own. Again, there's so many players that haven't been used just because there's so much talent here, I suppose. So I do feel a bit sorry for them. But yeah, going up into the depth centre as well. I don't think there's anyone else here that sticks out. A lot of the potential and star ratings have gone down. But yeah, so at the start of this season, this is the final season. So we've only won one trophy, but we're getting close to sort of the first and second spots. Briganza are still favourite personnel. No one's moved into icons yet. But yeah, let's see. In our final season, can we win some more silverware? And let's see if we can actually get a trophy or maybe get first or second. Asuga's been promoted to a team leader as well. Quaresma's gone down from one. Just probably due to lack of game time or something, but I don't know. But yeah, let's see where we end up in this fifth and final season. So in the fifth and final season, we've actually gone down to sixth. So it didn't last too long, but we did. We were in the final of the Taça de Portugal, which is good. Against Benfica on the 30th of May. So it's currently the 17th, which was the last game of the season. So we lost 9 games. Pax de Ferreira. Let's take a look at this schedule, man, because I don't understand. There's a lot of green, so we had a really good start. So we beat Moreirense. We did lose to Guimarães, but then we beat Boavista, Rio Ave, Florence. We had a lot of greens, a lot of wins there, losing to Portimonense there. But then in the month of October, we were unbeaten till what? The end of November, we lost to Estrella. So I don't understand what's really happened there. We did have some good Europa League nights as well. Wins against Transaspor, against Vitesse, against Wolfsburg. Did lose to Tottenham, however. Rodrigo Ribeiro scored against Wolfsburg, which is good. Losing to Tottenham, of course, but that's a difficult game. To be expected, James Maddison scored twice. But yeah, so it looked okay at the start of the season. I don't know how we fell off, though. We beat Fenerbahce 3-0 as well, which is good. Travassos, Bragança and Chimiti. Porto 1-1 in the league. Beating Paços de Ferreira in the Taça de Portugal. Losing to Benfica. But then, again, wins against Chaves, wins against Varzim. But then I lost against Estrela. So I guess it's just really inconsistent from us. But I didn't think sixth would be that bad. I thought maybe fourth. We did beat Sheriff 9-0, which is great in the Europa League. But again, we didn't win it, so it's not really the greatest thing here. So February we went on again an okay run, but then I guess there's just a lot more oranges and reds. Went on a on a really bad run in March, I suppose, losing to Sociedad, then drawing to Vizela, drawing to Varzim, Estrella, losing to Braga, losing to Porto, drawing to Benfica, drawing to Braga even, beating Varzim, then losing to Pacha de Ferreira, and drawing to Varzim again. So it's that sort of last 2 months we had a really bad drop off in form. Let's check Dev Centre. Obviously, it doesn't really matter at this point. Vitor Pereira could be promoted, even though it's not really going to go from here. I suppose. Let's check a look at the club info. Darren Braganza is still a favourite person on Icon, unfortunately. Chimiti, top goal scorer, 26 goals. Gonzalo Estevez got the highest average rating. Most assists go to Joao Fernandez and Gonzalo Estevez. Most player of the match was Chimiti. So Chimiti is definitely improved. Let's take a look at some of the stats, I suppose. Let's check. I guess Mateus Fernandez joining in Joao Sen. Okay. Let's check Chimiti's stats then, because again his price gone up. 29 games, 13 goals, 2 assists, so he's improved massively. Joelson Fernandez as well. Let's take a look. So 31 games, 8 goals. He's really been a great player this save, Joelson. Rodrigo Ribeiro, 32 games, 9 goals. Braganza as well, 28 games, 4 goals. So again he's been pretty good as well. Esuga, let's take a look. 31 games, 0 goals, decent average rating. Travassos in at left back here. 30 games, 2 goals, 2 assists. Gonzalo Estevez at right back. Let's have a look. 27 games, 1 goal, 6 assists. Ignacio, let's have a look. So 31 games, decent average rating, 1 goal. Denis Fachada has got 30 games, all comps, no goals, decent average rating. Quaresma, again, he's probably 29 games, yeah, decent average rating. And then Kalai, I guess, is going to be the same. Average rating of 6.7. He dropped off a little bit. Let's take a look on the bench. Chico Lamba, did he get any more minutes or did he get dropped completely? Again, 33 games as well, so he played quite a lot. Mateus Fernandez, did he play? He played 8 games, the most he's played all season. Jean Vieira is our regen. Did he play any games? 28, 1 goal. I see him a lot more off the bench though. Tim, my friend Tim, has got 22 games, 1 goal. Not bad average rating. Let's take a look at, I guess, Petru. Let's see if he managed to score. He only played once, didn't score. He's been quite disappointing. I thought he'd be like a really good striker, but clearly not. Just not suited to Amorim's system. Let's take a look at Alfonso Moraes, wanted by Rio Ave. I don't think he would have played a lot. His stats aren't great. Only 3 games, yeah. So not the best from him. Canario is not. He's just a random player that was here. Fernandinho is not playing a single game, which is a bit odd. He's got decent stats. I don't think there's really anyone else here that has probably played a few games. Rodrigo Marquez got a 7.8 in the last 5 games. I don't know what that's about. I don't know if he played or not. But yeah, take a look at dynamics. Everything's excellent. Let's look at the hierarchy. Braganza, Ignacio, Asua, same again. Yeah, this guy's played, 7 games? So he's a bit of a strange one. Let's look at the Dev Centre again. Yeah, no one here. Finance is 45 million, 19 million in transfer budget. Again, Braganza is still like a just normal person. No one sort of made that jump to club legend or anything like that. But it's to be expected. It's only been 5 years. Take competition, so we got knocked out. So we're in the final of this. What we're going to do, we're going to sim to the end of this, the end of that date, and see if we can actually win something. We've only won 1 competition so far. So I'm going to put myself on holiday, sim to the end, and hopefully we can win another competition. So we have simmed a week. Let's double check and see if we've actually won something. So we won the Taça de Portugal. We beat Benfica in the final. So there's a silver lining to this poor season that we won the Taça de Portugal. I think that means we get into what? Europa League or Conference League maybe? So we can double check. So they somehow have Curtis Jones, I suppose. So we beat them on penalties, which is good. Their team is incredible. Milan Skriniar, I'll see what their last tactic was. So Kobel in goal, Skriniar, Saliusu, Curtis Jones up front. Okay, fair enough, I suppose. I wonder how much they bought him for, but he's got really good stats, to be fair. So yeah, let's see if there's anyone else. This guy is becomes really good on Football Manager. I can never pronounce the name. Call him Andreas, I suppose. David Neres on the bench. Marco Asensio, so bought from PSG. 56 million. Gee, Benfica have the money to spend. Clearly, 56 million on a 31-year-old. So how we beat this team is strange. They got Ndombele. They've got loads of good players here. Milan Skriniar, as I mentioned, bought for free from Inter. That's fair enough, I suppose. I think he's gone to PSG in real life, if I'm not mistaken. But like I said, guys like Salisu from Southampton as well. 22 million, I guess not that bad from Bayern Munich. They've got guys, not regens, but young players like João Fonseca. No relation to me, of course, I think, at least. But yeah, Wilfried Zaha as well, I just spotted that. Kevin Free from Aston Villa. So that's a strange one as well. But yeah, they've got a much better team. So the fact we beat us on penalties is a testament to how good the team is, I suppose. They've got a really good team compared to us, at least. João Neves not really done much for them, I suppose, on the reserves, but he was injured, to be fair. So yeah, we actually did win something. So we've won 2 trophies all season. So it's been okay, I would say, in terms of overall rebuild. The first season was obviously the worst. First and last, actually, the worst. But we did get some good performances in there as well, winning the competitions, as I said. If you have enjoyed this rebuild, let me know. We can do stuff like this. If you want to do like a second part to it so I can continue from here, let me know as well. We could do another 5 years, see how well we do. But yeah, this has been Sam Fonseca from All Things Alvalade. This has been the Alcochete only rebuild. Thank you for watching and subscribe for more Football Manager experiments and other videos. I've been Sam Fonseca from All Things Alvalade. Peace.